Save. All right, everybody. So great to be here with you. It's Brett Gregory. If you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you are tuning in from, and we will give you a shout out here. So Brett Gregory, and today we've got a really exciting presentation for you. I'm going to teach you how to double your webinar sales. You're going to learn today how to double your webinar sales. So if you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you are tuning in from, and then we're going to go into teaching you how to double your webinar sales. So if you have ever done a webinar before, and you'll know that doing a webinar sometimes can be challenging. Sometimes getting people to attend your webinar is challenging, and getting people to purchase from you on your webinar can be really challenging. But in any regard, what you mostly want to do, or what we're going to be talking about today, is helping you create a profitable webinar sales presentation. So if you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you are tuning in from. Hey, Brian from Canada, welcome. Good to have you here. Is that Kelowna, or did I totally butcher that? I love Canada. I went there, went to Vancouver for the Olympics, and had an amazing time there, but I haven't been there. Hey, Paul from New York, welcome. Glad to have you here with us. So if you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you are tuning in from today. And then what I would love to hear from you, hey, Kenneth from San Francisco, my friend, how you doing? And then I would love to hear from you, what is your #1 challenge making sales from webinars? What is your #1 challenge making sales from webinars? Now, if your #1 challenge is getting people on the webinar, that's fine. Go ahead and tell us that. If your #1 challenge is getting people to convert on the webinar, that's fine. If your #1 challenge is getting people to register for your webinar, that's fine. Whatever your #1 challenge is with your webinars, please let us know in the questions box what your #1 challenge is with your webinar. So Paul is getting registrants, and yeah, getting registrants can be tough, and so we can address that. But tell us what your #1 challenge is with your webinars. And now I'm about to go full screen. By the way, when I go full screen, I can't see your questions here, but keep your questions coming. So I'll toggle back and forth as we're going through. Kenneth says getting people on the webinar. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so let's go here and focus on how to double your webinar sales. So how to create a profitable webinar sales presentation. So what you're going to learn right now is how to create a webinar slide presentation, and of course I gotta fix all the typos. How to create your, I'm just gonna say your webinar slide presentation. It's gonna help you sell your products and services. What is the breakdown of a winning sales webinar? So we've done over $750,000 in sales on webinars. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of a winning sales webinar, how to create exercises that motivate your customers to purchase, and how to architect your irresistible offer. So that's really what we're doing, is we're doubling your webinar sales, okay, through this process here. So I want to lay out the sections of a great webinar presentation. So, first is the intro, and everybody knows, everybody has their own idea of what an intro is, but I came from corporate America. I had my own successful financial advisory firm, suit and tie guy. And one thing I noticed is that all of the presentations that were all done on PowerPoint, and they were all insanely boring. They were just like mind-numbingly boring. And it was just like one bad PowerPoint presentation after another. And everybody started out with the same kind of introduction. They always started out by saying how great and wonderful they were. It was basically their resume. And here's the thing, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about our resume. They only care about themselves. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that's what it is to be human. We have our own self-interest at heart. And in our own self-interest, we're looking out for ourselves, and that's totally normal. So in the when we're trying to create the sections of a great webinar presentation, we start with the introduction. The first thing that we're doing is, instead of listing our resume, which everybody hates and nobody cares about. We're going to connect, and you're going to connect with your customers with the hero's journey story. The hero's journey story. And I'll tell you more about what that is in a minute. But you're going to build your credibility through telling your hero's journey story without bragging by showing your results. And in your presentation, you're going to give away your very best content, information, tips, and tricks that help solve your customer's #1 problem. And then you're going to create an action exercise that your customer can do right on the webinar. So literally take a screenshot of this, because this one page, this is your entire webinar. This is the outline of your entire webinar. All right. And that's all you need. And if you do this right, you can then take this webinar and then seamlessly transition into a sales offer. Okay. In your offer, when you're making your sales offer, whatever it is that you're offering, you want to focus on the benefits of your products, not the features of your products. Okay. So let me give you an example. We have a coaching program called Make Six Figures Working from Anywhere 12-month Mastermind. And one of the benefits of that program is we teach people how to make $10,000 a month. But one of the features of the program is that it is there's three calls per month. That's a feature, 3 calls per month. Now, a lot of people focus on the features of their program and say, oh, you get 3 calls a month. Well, that doesn't have any value. What does have value is you can say, on our weekly calls, we're going to teach you step by step exactly what you need to know to figure out where your customer is, where to find them, who they are, and more importantly, how to get them to find you. That's a benefit from the same feature. So you're going to list the value of your benefits and you're going to put a number on them. So for example, we would say the value of that benefit might be $10,000 a month. Okay. And we're going to add bonuses like unlimited questions inside the VIP Facebook group that really take the value up to 10 to 20 times the actual price. Right. And then when we say what the price is, we're going to drop the price down by 10 to 20 times. So we might say the value of this program is worth $120,000, but we're only going to charge you $750 a month, for example. You also, if you are selling an information product, you want to offer a unconditional guarantee. A triple guarantee is our better than free guarantee. That means, and we only do this on information products. You can't do this if you're selling time for money kind of services or even live coaching, but you can do it on an information product, and you really should offer a 30-day money back guarantee on your information products. And we do a triple guarantee, meaning you can tell somebody, hey, if you purchase this program and if you don't get all the results you think you should get within 30 days, just send us an email and we'll give you a refund. And you not only, number one, do you get your money back? Number two, we're also going to let you keep the course. Okay, so this is a better than free guarantee. We're going to let you keep the course, and we're going to let you have access to the Facebook group or to, some other benefit. That's called a triple guarantee, and that makes it just a real no-brainer for people. And then finally, when it's time to ask them to pull out their credit cards, you need to send them to a sales page. And what I like to do there is I like to send them to a sales page that is easy to spell, write, and remember. Like, for example, our main program is called, the webinar is called Science of Sharing. And when it's time for people to pull out their credit card at the end of the presentation, we say, go to www.scienceofsharing.com. And that's where they go to actually check out and pay. So first off, so let me just take a little step back and see who else is here. Okay, so Kenneth, so if you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you're tuning in from, and tell us what is your #1 problem making sales on webinars. So for Paul, it was getting registrants. Kenneth, it was also getting people on the webinar. Whatever it is for you, tell us what is your #1 problem getting customers or making sales on your webinars. So this is important. So this is what we call the 4 learning types for the bulk of your presentations. All right. Now, this was created by Professor Howard Gardner, who was a Harvard professor of education, who came up with the theory of multiple intelligences. And basically that just means different people learn in different ways. And what he surmised is that if you, it's really important that you teach in the way that people learn. And because different people learn in different ways, you need to teach in different ways. And so we call these the learning styles, okay? For example, why is one learning style. The learning styles are why, what, how to, and then action steps. So the first learning style, why. Basically, some people, and I'm like one of these people, if you don't tell me why I should know and learn this information, I'm just going to check out and not listen to it. So you need to start out, and about 25% of the population is like this. So when you're doing your presentation, you always want to begin with why you should learn this. For example, the reason why you should learn this information, what I'm teaching right now, is because I'm going to show you how to double your sales on your webinars. That's a good reason to watch the rest of this presentation. The next is what. Another quarter of the population needs to know what it is that they are learning in order for them to concentrate on the rest of your information. So for example, what you're learning, you're going to learn how to structure your presentation in exact steps and exact specific instructions so that you can double your sales. That's the what. Okay, the next, another, about 30% of the population needs to know how to. Give me the specific steps on how to do the things that they value, that I value, and I'm here for. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So here are the 3 steps. Here's the 4 steps to making a great webinar and sales presentation, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then finally, action steps. So this is an actual exercise. Maybe you pull out a pen and paper, maybe you write something down, maybe you say something out loud, doesn't matter, but it's something where you're actually taking action and implementing, okay? And about another, maybe 20% of the population only learns that way. So you want to break up your whole presentation into these 4 learning styles. And then the easiest way to create any presentation, and it doesn't matter if it's one webinar or if you're creating, let's say, 12 modules for your program, you want to break up each module with these 4 pieces. And so whenever I'm creating a webinar or whenever I'm creating a new piece of content and maybe a new product, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the exercises. And then I'm going to work backwards from there. If I create the exercises first, then I build the presentation or the module all leading up to that exercise. So in this case, the exercise, I'm going to give you the exercise at the end of this presentation on how to create your hero's journey story. And then we work backwards from there. I start out, why you should do this, why you should watch this presentation, double your sales. What is it? We're going to show you the hero's story and how to do it. And the how-to is step 1, step 2, how to write your hero's journey story. And then finally, you're going to actually write it out with your action steps. So take another screenshot of this, because this is your whole, how you create your presentation in a nutshell. The other thing that you want to do on your presentations is give a free gift. For people who watch to the end of your presentation, give them a free gift. And the free gift needs to be relevant to what it is that you're teaching. If your free gift, the best kind of free gift that you can offer on your webinar, and remember, you give it away at the end of the webinar, it needs to help your customers solve their #1 problem, whatever that is. You want to make it very simple. Sometimes I've seen people give away like gifts that have options, and that doesn't work very well because you just want them to give one choice. Click here and download this free gift, okay? It needs to be very clear call to action. For example, on my kind of flagship webinar, Attract Customers Now from Facebook, I give a free gift, which is download your top 50 all-time most viral photo templates. And people get that free gift if they watch all the way until the end. Okay, and then click here, download now. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to begin your presentation. The introduction of your presentation is going to begin with your hero's journey. Remember, we're not going to do the boring old presentations that everybody else used to do in corporate America, which is start out with their resume. Nobody cares. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to tell a story. And it's going to be your story. And your story is going to be the hero's journey. Okay, and so what's the hero's journey? So the American scholar Joseph Campbell discovered that the most famous stories out there, and I don't care what story it is, it could be Star Wars, it could be Cinderella, it could be, go way back $2,000 a year, 2,000 years when, Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. It doesn't matter. It could be the Bible. It doesn't matter what story it is. The most famous stories follow the hero's journey. And the hero we're referring to as an archetype, okay? The hero archetype. And so what that means is this is going to be your story where you're the hero of how you came to be the new mentor, the mentor that your customers want to hire and want to follow. And this allows you to demonstrate your credibility without bragging. And it also dramatically holds the audience's attention. Okay, so we're getting away from the super boring resume to telling a real, true story about you that allows you to give your credibility in a way that is not bragging and demonstrates a lot of credibility. Okay. Once you do that, then you're going to transition to your training. So the intro should be short, maybe 5 minutes. If it's really, really long, it's 10 minutes. And, I always err on the side of shorter. And then when we get into your training, then I want you to give away your absolute best content that helps you get the client's best results. So when we talk about the training, remember the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, what's the best exercise that I could have my clients do that's going to give them the most benefit and help them solve their big problem? And that's the training is going to be all about getting them ready for that exercise, okay? And this needs to be your very best content. What's your best content that you can give away that gets your clients the best results? So another way to help you figure out what that is what are your fast action results getting tools or techniques or information? Okay, what can you give away for free that can help your customers the best, the fastest, the easiest? Okay, so one example here, when I teach one of my my flagship program, which is called the Science of Sharing. One of the most powerful, impactful exercises that we do is the photo album stack, because the photo album stack helps people solve their number one problem, which is increasing your reach on Facebook, getting your posts seen by a lot of people. So this is an example of one of the exercises that we teach. Okay. And then what's also really valuable is if you can connect your training to your free gift that you're going to give away at the end. Okay. So you need to connect 3 things here. You need to connect your exercise, and you need to connect your free gift, and you need to connect your training. They all need to be aligned to help your customer solve their big problem. Okay. So in this case, my free gift was my top 15 all-time most viral photo templates. All right, so I gave that away on this webinar. And you can actually see the webinar itself at www.scienceofsharing.com. Okay, and so now you're going to create these high-value exercises. I'm going to take just a second and look in. So if you're just joining us, tell us what city and country you're tuning in from. And tell us what is your number one challenge getting sales from your webinars, okay? So what we're gonna do now is, we're gonna talk about you creating high value exercises for your clients. All right, so question number 1, what exercise could you have your customer do right on the spot that will show them you have the answer to their number one problem? Okay, so do me a favor and I actually want you to answer these questions. Go into the chat box right now and answer these questions so I can see them. I want to make sure, and I want to help you brainstorm. What exercise can you have your customers do right on the spot that will show them that you have the answer to their number one problem? Okay, so exercises can be anything. It could be answer 3 questions on a sheet of paper that will help them see the solution to their problem. Okay, that could be one example here. It could be, you have them actually. I usually have people, write down an answer on a piece of paper, or write your answer in the questions box, for example. What exercise can you have your customers do right on the spot during a live webinar that will show them you understand their problem and you have the answer to their problem? Go ahead and write that down. And if you can, write it in the questions box and I can help you brainstorm that. So your exercises can really be whatever they want, whatever you want them to be, but I strongly recommend you want to have them do something that they can do right on the call. and that will help them get the best results that you are able to, within 5 minutes. Okay, so here's an example of one of our exercises that we do on a live webinar. The 5-minute exercise: create your viral photo post. So I tell people, how do you create, why do you want to do this? Because it helps you get seen by more people. How do you do it? You go down and find an amazing photo on Flickr, and you get a quote on goodreads.com, and then you actually do the post. So I have people right there on the spot, go and do this now. Go to Facebook, create your own viral photo post, and go and do this right now. It takes 5 minutes, right? So that's an example of one of the exercises that we can do live online. So once you are done with that part of your presentation, once you're done with the your exercise, then you need to transition. Now it's time to go into this sales part. A great way to transition is to ask the question, what if? And in order to move your customers from indecision to desire, you need them to imagine themselves in the future having purchased your product or service. If they can imagine themselves getting the result they truly desire, then getting them to take action to purchase becomes the natural next step. Okay? If we can't get our customers to imagine themselves in the future having purchased our product or service and enjoying the benefits of that product or service, then they're not going to buy from us. That's just as simple as that. So it's up to us to get them to imagine themselves. We have to provide them really good value, really good insight. And then when we transition to the offer, we have to get them to imagine themselves taking advantage. And a great way to do that is to ask the question, what if? All right, so here's an example. What if? And here's an example that we use on one of our webinars. What if 90 days from now, 1,000 new real people saw you, your website, or your business? What if 90 days from now, conscious customers became raving fans and started bringing in new customers? What if, how many new people could you help? What impact could you make? What difference could you make? And so on. So those are all examples of how do you get people to start thinking of themselves enjoying the benefits of your program in the future. Okay, and then we transition to the offer. Attract customers now from Facebook. Simple, cost-effective marketing for entrepreneurs is a $2,000 value. Okay, then you want to next use customer testimonials for your transition. So now you've asked what if. You said, here is the big program that we're talking about, and I gave a very high value for the price. I haven't told you the price yet. I just gave a number of the value of the program. And now I'm going to show testimonials. So results-based testimonials. So it's not just testimonials like, oh, I think Brett's really nice. That's not a great testimonial. What's a much better testimonial is results-based, that have proof that others have achieved the results that your customers are seeking. It creates validation, creates eagerness, makes for a seamless transition into an offer so the audience doesn't drop off. Okay, so for example, I filled my $10,000 coaching program with 100 students. Here's one of my friends and clients who we helped with her Facebook marketing. That was way back in 2013, where we helped her fill her $10,000 coaching program with 100 students from some of the Facebook techniques that we taught her. And that's a great, very, very specific result. That is a great testimonial. Okay, so you want to show some testimonials. So then now we get into the bonuses. All right, and so what we're doing is we're trying to create 10 to 20 times the value for your offer. And what you're going to do is you're going to frame your bonuses in a results-based monetary value. That's the best way to demonstrate the value of your offer. Okay, we're going to frame your bonuses in a results-based monetary value, and we're going to focus on the benefits and the results, not the features. Okay, so for example, here's one of our bonuses, the 2-day Facebook Get It Done Marketing Bootcamp. All right, so a feature of this bonus is that it's 2 days, and nobody cares about our features. Nobody cares. All right, what people do care about though is the benefits. So the bonus here will help you in just 90 days or less attract more likes, leads, and customers from Facebook than you've ever had before. And you can kickstart your Facebook marketing in just 48 hours. That's a $9,474 value. So you see what I just did? I didn't even, the features are just like a very, very side benefit, or just an aside. And I really focus on the benefits. And these are the results, the value that people are going to get. All right, so you want to stack up your bonuses so that you get the total value of your program much higher than the actual price that you're going to charge. And I like to do at least 10 times higher. 20 times higher is better. So just you want to demonstrate that you have a much, much larger value than you're actually going to give people. So when you remind them of the total, then we're going to drop the price to your actual offer. So for example, you'd say you get the course, Track Customers Now, plus all of these bonuses. So the 2-day Facebook Marketing Bootcamp, you get your weekly live call with me so that you never sit in confusion again. You get Facebook Marketing for Newbies in case Facebook marketing scares you, and you drive traffic to your website and get customers with profitable Facebook ads step-by-step. All together, that's $13,000, but we're not even going to charge you anywhere near that. We're not even going to charge you half that. We're not even going to charge you a quarter of that. In fact, today you can get it for just one easy payment of $497, for example, okay? And then once that's done, now you've dropped the price. Now it's time to send the client to the sales page. All right, so when our clients are on a webinar, we need to send them to a sales page to check out and complete their purchase. The best way to do that is to use a URL that is not easy to spell, but difficult to misspell. So understand that for a second. We want to be like impossible to misunderstand. Okay, and you can go and buy a URL on GoDaddy for just $8. And don't worry if it feels a little bit long. That's not that much of a problem. What's more important is that it's easy to spell. And what's even more important than that is that it's difficult to misspell. Okay, so we came up with, because the name of our presentation was Science of Sharing, we bought the web URL scienceofsharing.com on GoDaddy for like $8. And so I tell people at the end of the webinar, go to www.scienceofsharing.com. And then once you're there, now we do something called future pacing. All right, and we also make sure that people know that they have a guarantee. All right, so there's a countdown timer. The offer is going to expire, and you have a guarantee. And what I like to use is when we're selling an information product, I like to make it an absolute no-brainer for people. And what we do in order to do that is not only do you want to take away all the risk, but you want to make it even better than free. So this is, it's not only no risk, it's better than free. There's no hassle. If people refund, we'll still be friends. And here's the triple guarantee. Triple guarantee, number one, is if you purchase this program and at any time within the next 30 days, you don't get all the likes you think you should get. You don't get all the leads you think you should get. You don't get all the customers you think you should get. You don't get all the sales you think you should get. It does not matter. Whatever it is, within 30 days of purchase, just reply to our email and we'll give you a full refund happily. And number one, you get your money back. Number two, I will even let you keep the course. And number three, you even get to keep the bonuses. Now, this sometimes scares people, number two and number three. Many people want to say, oh, well, we'll just give you your money back and then you don't get to keep the course anymore. I like to give away a better than free guarantee, because not only am I totally stand behind my product, I am so convinced that you're going to love it so much that I am willing to make this claim that if you ask for your money back within 30 days, of course, can't be after that, but within 30 days, and you, for whatever reason, you didn't get the satisfaction you want to, you just say the word, send us the email, and you get to keep the course and most of the bonuses. And I say most because, well, one of the bonuses is a Facebook group only for paying members. And that one, we don't want non-paying members in the group, but you get the 4 other information products there. So the whole point is that it's a better than free guarantee. It's a complete no-brainer. Now, sometimes people say, well, won't people take advantage of you when you do this? And yeah, you know what? Of the 7,000 customers that we've had, there's definitely been, a couple who knowingly went in and bought the course, knowing that they were going to keep it and not pay. But if there's only a few out of 7,000, I can live with that. And I'm just committed to 100% satisfaction. And if somebody doesn't like it within 30 days, they get their money back. They can still keep the course. So that makes it, that gives people the level of comfort that they want to have, because if they've never met you before and they've never taken any of your programs, we need to feel certainty that we're going to get the value if we're laying out, some significant amount of cash. Okay. Then after we've presented the triple guarantee, now we're going to start future pacing. So what's future pacing? So in NLP, or neuro linguistic programming, what you're doing is you're letting people know what's going to happen next. And in the process, you're going to assume that they will complete the process, and you're going to let them into a glimpse of what it's like to be inside your program. And again, this goes along the lines with, you need to get customers to imagine themselves in the future with the benefits of having purchased your product or service. One of the most powerful words in sales and marketing is the word imagine. Okay. So imagine yourself in the future. Once you've completed your checkout process and purchased, this is what it's going to look like in the members area. So now imagine that you're now in the members area. You get access to all these products. The first thing I want you to do is to click on this product and start watching Attract Customers Now online. The next thing I want you to do, more future pacing for one of the bonuses. The next thing I want you to do is to go into the Facebook group. We now have up to 1,700 other enlightened entrepreneurs who purchased this program. We want you to post your Facebook page in the group so we can all like it. That's a great bonus, right? So more future pacing, benefit heavy future pacing. And then remind people that at the very end of the presentation, we want to give them what they came for in the first place, or which is the bribe, if you will, the ethical bribe to get them to stay till the end, which is our free gift. So in this case, it was the 50 viral images template, so they can download that for free. Okay, so it's time for you now to do this. So what is, so let's see some words. So Paul, you're doing fat weight loss. So everybody right now, do me a favor and go into the questions box and type in what you think your highest value exercise is. What's your highest value exercise that you can create for your customers? Okay, so what's your highest value exercise that you can create for your customers? So Brian, Paul, Kenneth, go ahead and write and tell me what it is that you do. And if you have an exercise, what is that exercise that you can teach your customers? And so for that exercise, you want to ask, what is the highest value exercise that you can create for your customers? So for example, Paul, if you do fat weight loss, one of the things you can do is you could say, hey, for the customer, they're gonna write out, for example, their top 10 favorite whole foods. Okay, I'm making this up right now because I'm not a fat weight loss expert. So you say, okay, here's your exercise. Write down your top 10 favorite whole foods. Step 1. Step 2, you can, in that exercise, plan out your meal that includes those top 10 favorite whole foods for the next 48 hours. And step 3, that's going to be your meal plan that's going to help you, lose 3 pounds or lose 4 pounds over the weekend, for example. Okay, I just totally made that up, but that's a good example. Another way to help you figure out what the highest value exercise is to ask yourself, what is the number one thing that if they learned and put into action would get them the best results? And it's really helpful, you could ask that same question a slightly different way. What's the number one thing that if they learn and put into action would get them the fastest results? Usually the answer to one of those two things is your exercise, okay? So create your exercise first, and then we're gonna list out why, what, and how to steps, okay? So create your exercise first. All right, so Frederick sells online products to control blood sugar. Great. So Frederick, what is an example of an exercise that you can help your customers put into action that would get them the best results. Now, I want to be clear about something here. It's not an exercise that is going to get them to purchase your program. Okay, that's not part of the exercise. So for example, this is an exercise that you're doing right now. And in no part of this exercise do you pull out your credit card and purchase our program, okay? So the exercise has to be the highest value that you can create for your customer, all right? And so just simply ask yourself, what's the number one thing that if they learn and put it into action would get them the best results, okay? So Brian, what would you do or have if money was not an issue? Okay, well, so that's a great question, but what is the highest value exercise, Brian, that you can do for your clients? Brian, tell me what it is what do you do first off? So, and Kenneth, same for you. What do you do? And then go ahead and tell me what your highest value exercise is that you can create for your customers. So Kenneth, you work with businesses that's strategic business, technology service in a digital age, plus share profits with communities. I'm sorry, I need more information. So do you help them get new customers? Do you help them with marketing? Do you help them with sales? Okay, and so what you need to do is you need to come up with an exercise that is helps them with the number one thing that if they learned and put it into action would give them the best results, okay? And then you're gonna create that exercise first, and then you work backwards into creating your webinar. So Brian, okay, good. You show them how to create financial freedom. So Brian, what is the highest value exercise that your customer could do on a webinar? And if you're having trouble answering that question, then this next question may help you. So in creating financial freedom, what is the number one thing that if they learned and they put it into action would get them the best results? Okay. So for example, do they need to start keeping track of their expenses and create a budget? And then step 2, create a long-term financial plan. I'm just totally making that up. So I'm just asking. Frederick, so what is an example, Frederick, of the number one thing that if your customers learn and put it into action would get them the best results? Same thing with you, Paul and Kenneth. Okay, so we are going to move on here. And so let me ask you something. If you've gotten some value out of the webinar so far, go ahead and write the word value. So if you've gotten some value out of the webinar right now, go to the questions box and write the word value. Okay, so Frederick said identify their blood sugar level. So what exercise, Frederick, could your clients do to identify their blood sugar level? Thank you, Frederick. Value, I appreciate that. All right, so what we're going to do now, let me go to, just a second here. I'm going to pull something up here. One thing that I'm going to show you here is, here, let's do this. I'm going to bring this in here in just a second. All right, Sherry Lee says value, Brian says value, Cameron says value. Okay, you guys rock. Kenneth, the highest value is building reputation as a local business. Help them with tech services, connecting to investors for small business owners. Okay, so Kenneth, here's an example. All right, if you help local businesses build their reputation, one thing that's really important for local businesses building their reputation is getting reviews online. All right, so here you can see our example here. We've got reviews on our Facebook page. Getting reviews online, especially, and you can see here there's 58 reviews, 54 5-star reviews and so on. So here's an example of an exercise that you could do, Kenneth, to help your customers. You could say, help them figure out a very simple system to go and get online reviews on Yelp and Google, not on Facebook, because Facebook doesn't really help as much with local businesses, but local businesses depend heavily on Yelp and Google reviews. So on the exercise you could make is that they can ask their happy customers. So whenever they have a customer who says, thank you, they say, you're welcome. Hey, you know what? Please don't keep this a secret. Could you give us a quick little review on Yelp? Pull out your phone right now and you can just literally dictate a review on Yelp. That's an example of an exercise that you could have them do on a live webinar. You could teach them the steps to say, to wait for a customer to acknowledge their value by saying thank you. They reply with, you're welcome. Please don't keep me a secret. Would you give me a quick little review on Yelp? And then teach them how to walk their customer through leaving them a 5-star review on Yelp or Google reviews. That's it. It would be huge for you, Kenneth. Absolutely huge. Okay. So we're gonna do something cool here. So I have a really cool opportunity for you that just came up. My friend, I just posted this, and I can see here that Sherry Lee is on with us. So my amazing Facebook advertiser, Sherry Lee, just helped post this for me. And my friend, this is my friend Lisa Sasevich, who is absolutely amazing. She's going to be giving away something to help you position yourself for online sales success. All right, so what she's giving away for free, and by the way, so I'm going to give you the link here to go and get this yourself. You can get it on my Facebook page. You can go to facebook.com/like Brett, and you can click here on this. I'll just show you what it looks like. So you click here. It says, get your work online. It's Lisa's free book. And this free book is really helps you how to use your phone and your computer to set yourself free. So you just learned how to double your webinar sales. So what she shows you how to do in this book is she shows you how to fill your webinar and how to attract those new clients who will say yes, and how you can create your irresistible offer to get lots and lots of people in your program. And when you opt into this, I'm going to strongly recommend that you do this. You just click download my free book now, and you put in your name and email. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you your you're going to come to a page that looks like this. Let me do this again here. You're going to come to a page that looks like this, and you're going to see Lisa's video here. All right, and she's really, really good. You definitely want to listen to her video. But then you can click here. You see where it says click here to download, position yourself. All right, and so you're going to get this, and this book is absolutely outstanding. She goes through exactly the steps that you need to do to take the information that you just learned about how to double your webinar sales and how to fill your webinar. Okay, so you definitely want that. So get this book, and the way to do that is go to my page. So it's facebook.com/like Brett. You can click on this link. Now, for those of you that have gotten value out of this presentation so far, I appreciate it. And what I'm going to do for you is, if you've gotten value to this webinar, please don't keep me a secret. Right now, go to my Facebook page. Okay, so that's facebook.com/like Brett. So click on this link that I'm sending you here right now. All right. And what I want you to do is, please don't keep me a secret. So there's 2 steps here. Click the share button. So step 1 is click share like this, and you'll see this little drop down here. So click share. And yes, this is self-serving, but I'm going to give you a very, very valuable reason why you want to do this. Okay, so you click share on your timeline, all right, and click post. That's very, very important. And number 2, write a little comment. Write a little comment about tell us what value you learned from doing live webinars. Live webinars. All right, so that's the information that you just learned. And so here's what I'm going to do. Sherry Lee, who's on this call with us here, she just created this ad for us, and I'm targeting 500,000 business owners with this ad. 500,000 people. I'm going to spend well over $1,000 on this ad. If you make a comment, you can see, if you make a comment here and you click the share button, you will have the opportunity to get seen by 500,000 people. Okay, so the way that we do this is we do 2 separate types of ads. Okay, one ad will spend $40 on doing what's called a boosted post. Okay, so we boost the post, but then I spend $1,000 reaching 500,000 small business owners and entrepreneurs. So if you want to get some visibility, if you want to get seen by some of those people, go and write a comment on this particular post and tell us what value you learned from doing live webinars. I just taught you on this webinar what value you learned. Click the like button here or love, and then click the share button. If you do that, if you click the share button, and don't forget to click the share button, if you do that, then you will have the best opportunity to get seen by 500,000 people. And this is totally free. All you have to do is click like, write a comment, and click share. That's it. You don't have to pay me any money. You don't have to buy anything, none of that stuff. But if you got value out of this, please don't keep us a secret, and that's the way you can do it. So for those of you who do that, you're going to get the opportunity to get seen by 500,000 entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, business owners, and just people all over the world. So go ahead and do that now, and you're going to get the opportunity to just ride on our coattails and get some free exposure. Okay. So that would be awesome. So Kenneth says, I'm sharing with a Facebook group of 40,000. Thanks, my friend. You are going to get seen by a whole lot of people then. That is awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, so for everybody else, we're going to wrap it up today. So here we go. Everyday wellness. Click the like button. So make sure you got to make the comment. Brian Mack just shared the post. You're the man, Brian. Make sure to write the comment on it. I appreciate it. And you guys are going to get the opportunity to get seen by 500,000 entrepreneurs. All right. Well, that is a wrap, everybody. I know a few people had a little bit of trouble getting on. And so I think we put a new, hang on a second here, weekly live marketing class link. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to click this link and say that you're going to the class. And that way you can get access to the replays. Yeah, I think we just had to recently change the registration button. So I think a few people, unfortunately, oh good, yes, thank you, Brian. We had a 52-week class that just ran out. We just completed 52 weeks, so we had to start a new one. So that's why I think a few people had a little struggle getting on. So I apologize for that. But we're going to be on the same place next week, and we can't wait to see you on our call. So with that, I appreciate you being here, and let us know in the comments here, what else you would like to learn about on these calls, and we will see you next week, everybody. Don't forget to write on this post, and we'll see you next week. Much love, everybody. Namaste.